Welcome back, friends. So we're not in the shop today. I've got a new project behind me I want to introduce you guys to. So I should have done this a long time ago. My kids have been asking for some sort of a playhouse for several years, if not more. And it just seems like there's always a project that gets in the way of it. So I've got the forms laid out for a slab for a 13.5 by 24 building. You can see the slab will be right behind my workshop. The workshop is right there, and then I have a shed behind the workshop where I store lumber and building materials that don't fit in the shop. The plans for this building is to be half of it a playhouse for the kids and the other half a place to store my skid steer. I started working on the pad, it was over a year ago now. I brought in probably 4 loads of chert and leveled up this area and built it up quite a bit. I didn't start building because I wanted to make sure the ground was really well packed before we started laying out for concrete. There's a really big tree it was actually 2 trees right there that we dug up, and I backfilled the hole with chert. The root ball was probably the size of a small car. There was another large tree right here, another hackberry tree, that also had a really massive root ball, and I dug it up and backfilled that with chert as well, and that was all last year. So with really over a year, maybe even a year and a half of planning and going through some different plans and changing things up some, I'm finally ready to get started building. So let me grab that camera and I'm going to show you around a little bit. So there's my shop, and that's my shed behind it, and I've laid out the foundation for this building 24 feet behind the shed. The idea there is that it'll give me room to drive through here, that I can access my gates here that goes into our backyard. The concrete boards that I've laid out are 2x6s, and I've got the grade to be 5 inches of concrete in the center of the pad. I'll have an increased depth of concrete around the forms. I'll be using 6-inch treated posts to attach to the concrete, and they'll attach to the concrete using these Simpson strong tie brackets. The kids will have a door right here that goes into the backyard fence. That way they can come into the playhouse without actually leaving the fenced-in backyard. So we're beside the fence now, and this side will be the playhouse portion. I'm going to have a wall going down the middle of the building that will divide the playhouse from the storage shed for the skid steer. The rear post will be set in some on the pad, and then the back side of the pad will be where I can store my firewood. The rear side of the truss has an overhang of about 2 feet that will protect my firewood. So I've got my trusses on site. It's nice because they have the brackets to attach the purlins to. That'll make it go really quickly. I've also got the windows on site, and there'll be 4 windows in the building, and I've got the box of the 6 Simpson strong tie brackets for the 6x6 post. So the plan, there'll be 6 posts, and I haven't completely decided on the height of the building yet. I may go 12 foot in the front and 10 foot in the back. I haven't decided if I'd like to have a loft for the kids' playhouse side. I think they'd probably enjoy that. So that's the side of the building that'll be boxed in with a man door, and it'll have 3 windows. And then this side of the building will have a door for the skid steer. And it'll probably have 1 window just to let some light in. I haven't decided if I'm going to put any electrical out here. If I do, it'll probably be solar power. All we really need is a plug or 2 and just some overhead lights. Where the brackets will be inserted into the concrete while the concrete's wet, we've dug some holes that will give some additional strength to the brackets. I pre-cut the wire mesh so it'll be easy to add to the building once we lay down the vapor barrier. So I've been looking forward to this project for really over a year now. I not only enjoy woodworking, but I enjoy carpentry as well, and this should be a really fun project. For the building, I'm going to have 6 6x6 posts, and then I'll have a 2x6 skirt board around the outside, around the bottom of the board, and then the girts will be untreated otherwise. Attached to the roof will be 2x6 untreated wood, and that's what the metal will attach to. I do have some metal roof insulation in there left over from when I built the chicken house that we're going to add to the roof as well. Really at this point all we're waiting on is it to dry up enough that we can pour the concrete. So I'm really open as to how I film this project. We could do just a whole total video of the whole thing, or I could do sort of a daily vlog when we actually are working on the building. We could also film it in segments like we've done in the past with some of the bigger projects. So I'd like to know in the comments if you guys would like to see this project on video, and if you'd like to see it in segments or maybe just one large video. If you're interested in my hobby carpentry projects, I'm going to put a link to the chicken house I built in the spring. I'll see you guys there.